we all know, we've all been there, haven't we? Those pauses that we don't want to be there whilst we find the right shape in the left hand. The best thing to do is to practice through your piece in shapes, because the pause happens as you find all of the notes in the shape. If we only had to find the first note, then the pause wouldn't be there. But it's because we have to find the whole shape to place. So let's say you're playing through a piece and you've got, let's just say for a triad in the left hand, and then a 1-5-8, and then a full arpeggio. But they're played triad, bum, 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 1-5-8, bum, 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 and then arpeggio, bum, 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 bum. What you're going to play is full triad as a chord, full 1-5-8 as a chord, full arpeggio as a chord. So I'm in E flat major. So let's say that you're trying to play something along these lines. Okay, and let's say we've got no time in between, so the music actually wants us to do. Okay, so there's no pause in between in the music. We have to find the shape really quickly. So if we play through these in shapes, it helps us to make sure we're placing all of those shapes in one. And I'm sure you've already done this, Eileen. You've played through the left hand in these shapes because we talk about it all the time. But what you want to do after that, after having played through it in shapes, is actually play it through, especially if it's fast like what I just did with no gap in between, placing just the bottom 2 fingers. Okay, so here's my first shape, which I can definitely place straight off. Then I'm going to place just the bottom 2 fingers of each shape. Okay, full shape, just the bottom 2 fingers, just the bottom 2 fingers, and just the bottom 2 fingers. Now that meant in this case that I was placing for the first shape a 4 and a 2, because it was a 1-5-8. For the second shape, a 4 and a 3, because it was an arpeggio. And for the last shape, a 4 and a 2. Now, what that does is it encourages you, and I'm not saying that this is what you should do. You should place the whole shape. But where your eye is focused to place that whole shape tends to be from the bottom note upwards, especially in the left hand, because in the left hand, once your thumb's placed, it's almost in the way of your bottom fingers. So we tend to place from the bottom up. And also, if they're played from the bottom up, we absolutely have to get those fingers on first, and then the thumb can follow. Plus, quite often with these shapes, the thumb's used to following. A lot of us have practiced placing like this. And often, if we then move to placing the bottom fingers and then the thumb, the full shape comes quicker afterwards. Okay, because we're no longer placing like this, or because we've been used to placing like this, and we're just almost like bridging the gap between placing individual fingers to placing a shape. Once you've practiced it like that, you want to make sure that you're adding the right hand shapes in too. Now, this is what's really important, because it's all very well to be able to place the left hand shapes, but once you're distracted with the right hand, that's when often the pauses come in. And you have to work out where you can find those shapes based on the piece of music. Okay, so you would then say you've got the piece of music, say it did this. What did I play? Oh, I played a triad. Something like that, okay? My little shapes here, I've got 2 shapes there. I've got a 3-note shape and then a 3-note shape coming down. But I have to change those shapes as well, whilst these shapes are changing. So I'm going to practice it. I'm going to say my 3-note shape's played with this. So then I'm going to say, okay, this shape and then this shape. This shape and then this shape. And then I know that if I can move these shapes this quickly, then I can definitely move them this quickly when I separate it apart. So yes, it's about blocking up the shapes, but don't just block up the left hand shapes, block up both hands shapes, block the right hand shapes on their own, block the left hand shapes on their own, and then block the two hands together on their own and build it up that way. And remember about placing the bottom fingers and then the thumb. Try that. You can also, to help you really get used to placing shapes, place the middle fingers and then the outside, or place the top ones and then the bottom. All of these things are just going to get your shape placing quicker.